rock. It's toppled over now, and it looks as if the glass roads that were leading up to it, that were leading out of it at least, no longer are. Although the glass roads leading up to it still exist.
Now, does this look like the same material as the glass roads?
Yes, it does.
Oh, guys, I think we found what we were looking for.
Yeah, indeed.
But you said it's across the river, right?
Yes. The river is extremely large. It's at least 70, maybe 80 feet across.
All right. Well, I can double move fly across. In the words of an immortal Asian, good luck, everybody else!
I will revert my armor to clothing, so it doesn't negate any checks I need to make.
Okay. What are you guys gonna do?
I think we're planning on fording the river.
Let me say this before you do that. It is a raging river. It is very, very heavy current.
But if you use Jonathan Ox, it should be completely fine. No, but yeah, we're gonna have to try to find some actual bridge or some safe passing.
Yeah.
Here, let me see if I can use my nature to find like a safer part in the river.
You don't see anything outright. If you want to make a check for it, go ahead.
29.
Safer spot in the
Actually,
river.
31.
You notice a point where the river, where it seems to be safe to stand. There are two rocks on either side of the river. It's safe to stand behind the rocks, but the river flowing through it is still very rapid. You estimate it'll cut the distance off by about 20 feet or so.
Alright, so it's about 20, it's what, 20 squares across then?
What about 20 squares across? It's 50 feet now. No, it's 60 feet now, so what is that? That's, 10.
I said it was 40 feet the first time.
No, it was like 70 or 80 feet.
Okay.
It's like 12, 60 feet is like 12 squares.
It's like 12 squares.
Whew, that's a long distance.
Yeah.
I could fly that, but they can't swim that without getting fucked. I doubt we could get our boat up in there.
It's too narrow and probably too shallow.
Well, could we get the boat, maybe, I guess, across the other... When does this river end?
This river, you know from your map, extends all the way across to Saltwater River.
So how far down would that be?
This goes all the way west to the sea and all the way east to the sea. It's several days, if you want to just track that.
Oh, man. Fuck.
So there's no clear way of getting across this easily, but maybe that was part of how they were able to prevent themselves from being attacked. All right.
Well, if you want, I can just try to investigate from my end.
Well, that's a bit of a man. I don't think putting too much of a burden on you would be wise. We got to figure out how to get across here. Are there any trees or any other sort of foliage or anything near the river that could be used as a support for something like a rope or what have you?
Well, there are rocks. I mean, it's very rocky along this river. If you want to try something like that, but as far as trees are concerned, trees are a ways back, and on Kathleen's side, there really isn't any vegetation or life.
All right. Okay. Well, if you want to investigate, Kathleen, that should be a fine idea. I'm just going to be. I guess the rest of us will have to kind of look at things on this side of the river and see if we can figure out some way to safely get across. Unless there's, like I said, because from what we've seen so far, there isn't any sort of bridge, at least near where we are, that we can use to get across. So
it's not possible for me to like maybe lift someone up and bring them over.
How much do they weigh, and how high can you roll on a strength check?
Well, let's see. I mean, if I take off all my equipment,
yeah,
and then lift them by that, I think I can do 200 pounds is a normal load.
Okay.
Let me double check that. I could do 200 as a heavy load.
But that reduces your movement speed by half.
Well, how far is this across?
It's 12 squares. Well, no, yeah, 12 squares if you go by the rocks.
Alright, well, I can go into aspect of the flying, or the soaring hawk, which gives me a +2 to speed and double move, and I'd still be able to make it across. But you'd have to be under 200 pounds.
And
I'm guessing you'll be okay with everyone except me.
Well,
she's gonna get tired doing that.
I'm not great with Greg as well.
You're gonna have to take an extended rest at one point.
Well, it's a way to get at least some of us across.
Also, you are gonna have to roll a strength check to see if you can hold them, because you're not wearing it as like a backpack or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, how about this? We'll try that. Someone tie a rope to them just in case I can't carry them. We can at least pull them across before they'll hit the water, and have them go across without their weapons. And armor.
I'm not gonna if you can't lift them up, you can't lift them up. I'm not gonna penalize you by having them fall in the middle of the river.
Well, I'll just double checking on that. Well, yeah, I will try that then. I'll try at least for Dother then. Dother shouldn't be too heavy.
Okay. Roll a strength check to see if you can pick them up while flying. I'm going to warn you, it's pretty high DC.
15?
15's not going to do it.
yeah, so...
You struggle flapping your wings really hard as you can, but you're able to barely, get him ankle deep in the water.
Alright, I'm not going to be able to get you across this way. It might just be easier if I go on solo and...
yes, that might be the case, but...
Rope to secure it so we can, with a peg or something, so we can pull ourselves across maybe?
Possibly. Yeah. Oh, great.
The problem is going to be not getting lost in the current, because it's a raging river.
Right. Oh, I agree. I mean, we don't have a lot of good options with this river at the moment, so we have to, either find safe passage or try an alternative method. I mean, we could try walking the entire length of this river. Out of curiosity, how far are we across the river on the map, Jason? Would you say somewhere here, or
no? You're on the road.
On the road. So there was a bridge here, possibly.
Was a bridge. It's gone.
So yeah.
And on the other side is the tower.
Right. Okay. So obviously, we're not going to have any luck finding a regular means of getting across at this time. So I'm sure if we go back to Felbrig, if we ask them anything about it, they're not going to be completely keen on it. So.
Oh, look, I can make it across.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll just go and investigate so we don't waste more time.
Go ahead. We'll keep watch from over here. And
Alright, I'm going to go back over. I'm going to drop them off my spyglass, and I'm going to say you can use this to keep an eye on me from a long distance.
Okay.
And I'm going to go...
Keep an eye on her.
Whoever's got a high perception. Mm-hmm.
I've got a perception of +8. What do you got?
My perception is not strong as strong as I should.
What's your? Give me your perception and give me your passive.
Passive perception is, I believe it's 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, my passive perception is 11. So it's no.
Okay, so it's going to be Dother then. All right. Dother will carry the spyglass and watch Denora. Not Denora, excuse me, Kathleen.
Don't you just be spying on all the pretty girls, Dother.
Focus!
No. Okay, yes. Going to sneak ahead and try to see what I can find there.
All right. You sneak ahead, and you slowly approach the crumbled tower. You notice that the tower apparently had a basement to it, or at least some sort of sub level. It seems to be blocked off by ruin right now. Around the tower, you see all the markings of what appear to be Tiamat. At least to you, they appear to be markings of Tiamat. On the opposite side of the tower, you do notice that the glass road is there.
It leads up into this tower.
Leads up to the tower, but you notice something interesting, though. There is no sand around the glass road.
Okay, if I put my hand up to the glass road, does it still react? Like,
yeah, it reacts, but when you put your hand away, this time it doesn't grow back.
Alright, well, I'm going to try entering the tower, trying to be as quiet as I can.
How? It's collapsed.
Oh, well, I'm just going to investigate the ruins of it then.
Aside from noticing that there may have been a sub-level at this place at one point, you notice what appears to be some sort of collapsed holding structure. It's a three-pronged structure that seemed to have held something at one point. It's made of distinctly different material than the tower itself. You'd say maybe a metal or steel or something. You can't really tell what it is, but you'd figure something like that. It was a three-pronged... it has three prongs in the middle of it with a circle around it to keep it intact. And it looked like it had a base at one point, but you can't really tell where it was connected to or what was connected to it.
Okay, and there are symbols of Tiamat, you said, all over this, right?
Yeah, all over the place. The outside of the tower, the inside of the tower, there seems to be carved into the obsidian.
Do I smell anything? Do I smell like any life around here?
No, aside from the stinky apes across the river, you don't really smell anything.
Damn, filthy apes. I want to just test real quick. If I try touching more of the road, if it stays away.
It continues to stay away.
If I do the same to the tower, does anything happen there?
No, the tower seems there permanent.
All right. I'll head back to the group then.
Okay, fly back.
Whee!
I can fly, guys.
I can do science, me. Well, it seems it is certainly destroyed. Whatever is in there is not too much of a use, though there does seem to be something that was inside the tower, and there at one point was a basement. The only thing I did note is that there is glass roads over there, but when I try touching them, they don't come back. So it seems at some point I do have the ability to stop this stuff. Or at least Bahamut's magic does. Influence, rather, not magic.
So the sources replenish it when you've destroyed them. So without the sources, you can just permanently erase them.
And the nearest source is Watchman South. I think Watchman Source needs to be our next area, or our next target.
Sounds good enough.
Alright, well, unfortunately, Watchman South is over the river, and you guys can't get over that. So,
Right.
I'm suggesting perhaps we try heading to Holman Falls and heading to Watchman South from there.
Quite. Well, if we could find somewhere to dock the ship anywhere. Well, Holman Falls would be the safest. If we could find any spot between here and there that's safe to land, it could also be a good idea.
As a note, I'll point this out to you because you guys intrinsically already know this from your maps. Dother and John do, in fact. Where the hell is my pointy thing over here?
Spacebar,
Yeah, you see that?
No, are you on the World
There we
War
go.
map?
yeah.
All right. You know that you're docked around here-ish, and you can dock around here-ish, which is about a day's travel. About a day's travel.
So we could just bypass the river.
If you want to do that.
That'd probably be easier.
And then it's about a half day's travel to the south.
Okay.
Plus, if something goes wrong, we have to run back. We don't want to have to navigate the river
Alright.
with whatever's behind us.
Alright, well, let's head then that way.
All right, so you're going to head to the ship, which is about a half day away.